Hello everyone, it is Mrs. Red here from Mrs. Red's Art Room, and we're here today to have a look at what is inside the February 19 Red's Art Cart. If you've watched a few of these before, you'll notice that my background has changed slightly. It's actually still the same background, just slightly different angle. I'm now on a camera rather than the webcam, which is great because you're going to get a lot more clarity with the close-up of the drawing. So I am standing, we're about to sit down and have a look at what's inside, and as always I love to give you a little teaser. This one is the oil pastels, so this is included in the February 19 Red's Art Cart, and if you can hear that squawking in the background, that's Milo the parrot. Can't shut him up. Alright, let's sit down and we'll have a look at what's inside. So here is what is inside the February 19 Red's Art Cart. Now there's going to be two bits to this video, one being the actual product that's in the cart and then the artist that has inspired the artwork that I have supplied. So I just want to start with what is inside the cart and then we'll talk about the artist. Also you'll notice that it's quite well cropped. That's because I'm now using a camera rather than the webcam. And I do have an issue at the moment with the tripod not being able to be extended up too high because I have a bookshelf that floats off the wall. I am moving office very soon into the new extension of the house, so that issue will be resolved in the next couple of months. All right, we'll start with the Atelier pastel paints. These are not new to the Atelier range. They'd be over a year old now, probably 18 months old. There's 7 colours in the pastel range. They're all series 1, so they're all roughly going to be around that $9–10 mark, depending on where you're buying them from, of course. That's Australian dollars that I'm talking about. So I've included one of these in everyone's cart. Everyone's getting a different colour, of course, and you'll see why when you see the artwork and the artist that I've used in regards to why I've given you one of these, but it does have a lot to do with the fact that I've given you black paper as well. So we'll move on to the black paper. I'll just put that there for a sec. This black paper is Fabriano. Fabriano do a beautiful range of papers. This one is relatively new. It came out in 2018. Black because it is black as black can be when it comes to your paper. It is a 300 GSM, so it is a really nice thickness. You can see that there. Smooth finish, and everyone's received an A4 pad in that. I know it's a bit hard to see from there, but there we go. There's the logo. So beautiful black paper to work on. Now we'll move on to the brush. This brush is just an Art Basics brush, so it's really, without offending the art supplier, it's a no-name brand, but all I needed it for is to use with your acrylic. It can do watercolour and oil as well, but as with all brushes, never mix your paint mediums with your brushes. Always have them for one purpose only. So this one will always be an acrylic brush now. And it was a really nice little brush to use, nice soft bristles. The graphite pencil that I have included in the carts is the Staedtler Mars Lumograph Black. Now these ones have got a high proportion of carbon in them, so they're heavier than your standard graphite pencil. Everyone's receiving a 4B, which is quite a soft graphite, but the great thing about it is that it shows up really nicely on black paper. So when you're drawing up your sketch on the black paper, you're going to be able to see it, and you're not going to be putting an indent in, which is really important because you're about to use some oil pastels. And apparently and hopefully they have a incredibly strong graphite in them, so they shouldn't break inside that wood. And then moving on to our oil pastels, the main sort of product of this cart. You'll notice that Micador, you're probably thinking this is a student grade product. Yes, it is. However, in the 5 years of student art classes that I ran here on the Gold Coast, these pastels, without a doubt, stood out as the best of the lot. It didn't matter about the price. I tried everything on the students, both adults and children, and these ones were the ones that I liked the most. They just really go down well. They don't pick up. They're not too soft, and they're definitely not too hard. They're a beautiful oil pastel, and that's why I've put them in the cart for this month. The other great thing is that you can buy them in 2 different thicknesses. So this one's quite thin, quite little, and you can buy a bigger one, which is more ideal for young children who are just learning to create and do some artwork, and they've got a better chance of not breaking the actual pastel, whereas these ones are a little bit more dainty and much better for teenagers and adults to be using. So that is what is inside the February Reds art cart, and now we'll move on to who inspired the artwork. Alright, done a little bit of a change here. I've put the original artwork that has come in the art carts with everyone on the information card, which is this one here. There's the artwork there, and then you flip over and you've got the contents of the February cart. So this artwork has been inspired by a pop artist by the name of Wayne Thiebaud, and I also included in the cart a little information sheet on Wayne Thiebaud. American artist. He's in his late 90s now and is still painting, which is just awesome. So there's a little bit of information about him inside the cart, but I just wanted to say that that is where the inspiration for this art cart came from. He's an artist that I've followed for a long time, and I've done a lot of art projects with both adults and kids using his techniques. So this is a book that I have had for a while of his, not written by him, written by someone else, and it's just going through his life. It's a really, really interesting life. But as you'll see in this painting here, it was painted in 1969, 2 rows of bow ties it's called, and it was actually done on pastel on paper. So hence the oil pastel influence, but I also really love how Wayne Thiebaud also has this great definition in colour and shadow. So that was the inspiration behind the blueness and the harshness of those shadows that I put into the donuts. He also did a lot of bakery goods. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find an example while I'm talking. It looks like I'm not going to. There we go. There's some nice cakes. Pies, painted in 61, oil on canvas. A lot of his work was enormous too. Really, really large works. And from the pop art era as well. So that was my influence behind the artwork that I have created here. I do urge everyone to go and try, Google Wayne Thiebaud. He has got a hard to spell surname, but it is pronounced Thiebaud, not Thiebaud. There's a lot of him on YouTube. Get some inspiration from him. Get the black paper out, draw something up, have a go with the oils. This background here is using the Atelier pastel paint. I have, and you'll see this in the video because that always follows this one. I have painted that down, then I have drawn that shadow over the top. And then this hasn't got any paint on it, but the paint sits really nicely on black paper, and that's why I wanted to give everyone one paint. You could also put paint on top of your oil pastel if your project so desires it, and also any other colour acrylics you've got can go over the top of oil pastel. Alright everyone, I hope that everyone who's ordered the art cart watches this video, and of course the video of me doing the donuts up, very, very yummy donuts. And if you wanted to know more about the Reds art cart, just Google Reds art cart, or actually mrsredsartroom.com, and you'll come to the art carts page and see some more information in regards to them. It's a monthly art subscription. It is from Australia, but that doesn't mean that we don't send them out to the rest of the world. All right, everyone, go and enjoy yourself, and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.